Let's kick it. Chillin' with Blues, fix it. Talking about that RC life. Come and kick it. Welcome to Lose, fix it.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Kick It with Lose, Fix It. Today's special, I'm gonna give y'all my top 5 bash or drive. I know y'all heard me say that in the last video, and I'm just coming here today to give y'all my top 5 out of my collection that I got. I don't know if this is the top 5 for everybody. You know, the selection that I'm gonna make is the top 5 for everybody, but I'm gonna give you my top 5, and I'm gonna go by the category. I'm gonna give you the top 5 of the bashes. I'm gonna give you the top 5 of the speed runs. I'm gonna give you the top 5 of my low riders, top 5 of my crawlers, the top 5 of my bikers. That's my 5 categories, and I'm gonna give you my top 1 of all of them. You know, the bikers, the low riders, and the crawlers ain't that many, but I am gonna give you my favorite one out of all of them that I think is the best runner out of all of them. And since we right here, we're gonna start with the speed runners. These is pretty much street cars or speed runners, and that will be pretty much everything up top. Everything up top. So all of the cars, I definitely love all these cars. There's something about every last one of these cars that I just mentioned that I like something special about it. But to get down to my top 5, I'm only going to give you one out of each category. So my top 5 for all my speed runners. I think y'all already know this. I think if you've been following me for a while and you've been watching my videos, y'all will already know this. Y'all would say it's either between the Vendetta and the Felony. That is my top 2. The Limitless is one of mine. This Convert is definitely one of mine. And the Relay car is a top car. So out of all them cars, that's my top 4. No, that's my top 5. The Vendetta, the Felony, the Limitless, the Gladiator Convert, and the Relay car. Those is my top 5 out of this one, but my top 1 is the Felony. The Felony, and I'm giving the Felony my top car out of this selection is because I have not had any problems with the Felony from day one. I crashed it one time. It was a slight, it pulled off the front wheel, all the attachments to the front wheel. I just changed all the pieces. But when I say I have not had a problem with it, it runs straight, no problem, dag straight. You could just line it up straight and bring it past. You don't gotta turn it, straighten it out, nothing. Just give it throttle, and that baby will just zoom past you. Brakes, that thing hit the brakes, give you a nice little spin, no problem. The handle on a Felony is absolutely wonderful. The Vendetta, not so wonderful. The Vendetta swerves a lot. It lingers to the side a lot. It depends. You gotta weigh the Vendetta perfectly. With the original body, it kept diving in the air, flying in the air. So the Vendetta is definitely one of my good cars, but that's definitely not my best car. The Limitless, I have not been able to stretch the Limitless to its max. The Limitless is definitely one of my good cars, but the Felony was around longer and I got more attached to the Felony, so the Felony definitely going to take that. The other 2 is new cars that I just built. I like them. The Rilaros, definitely the Rilaros. Oh my God, this one right here is not in my top 5, but this one is definitely one of my good cars. Definitely one of my favorite cars. Definitely. But the Felony gonna take it for the street runners and the speed cars. Felony, definitely top notch, no question about it. There ain't even a thought of it. So now the next category, since we still here, let's go with the low riders. So I got the 6.4 and I got the Monte Carlos. So the Monte Carlos came first. It didn't give the bounce, so I got the 6.4 to give that bounce to it. Out of these 2 cars, my favorite car, the 6.4 is definitely my favorite running car because that Junker bounce, give you that bounce on it. But my favorite out of the lowriders is definitely the Monte Carlos. Definitely the Monte Carlos. The speed, it gives you a nice speed on it. It give you, oh man, that thing be drifting around. The Monte Carlos got good speed on it. You can take off, you can run it like a regular car. It ain't as fast as the regular cars, but it gives you a nice, good run on it. It's fun to have, it's fun to play with, especially if you got an open space in the house, or if you just outside in front of the house and you just want to run around, drift around inside of the yard. Definitely fun. The 6.4 is good to bounce around, but the weight on the back to have it bounce properly, you can't run it because it keeps wheeling on you. So the Monte Carlo's definitely going to get that one from out of those ones. So let's go over, I will go to the Bashes, but the Bashes is way more complicated. So let's go over to the crawlers. The crawlers is not that many crawlers, but let's take a wander over here to the crawlers. So over here I have the crawlers. I have two. I have the Louis build. This is a kit that I did. I have that one, and I have the Red Cat, Everest 10. Over here, as you can see, if you can see that, let me see if I can shed some light on that. I have the Traxxas. That's a good crawler. That's definitely a good crawler. Let me bring her back. So out of the crawlers, you know, it's not a hard decision for me with the crawlers. Definitely the Louis build, the crawler kit that I built with the trailer to go on the back. That's definitely my top. That's no question about it, because I put so much into it. You know, I put a lot into this car. I put all the pieces together. I built that junker from piece to piece, the shell, the chassis, everything I pieced together perfectly with this car and built this car 100% perfect. As you know, I'm not a big crawler, but I do have crawlers. I have these three. As you can see, I emptied out a shelf, so you already know what that means. There's something else coming. I can't tell you what it is coming, and maybe that's gonna be my next top 5 bash or drive, you know. But for right now, the Louis crawlers definitely gonna get it. Oh, I got the music in the back of her. Man, the Louis crawler is definitely my top crawler. I'm not even going against that one. So let's get over to the Bashes and bikers, and let's see what we have in store with those ones. All right, man. So we over here with the Bashes now. Oh man, the Bashes. So the Bashes is a little bit more complicated than the other groups. The Bashes is a lot more complicated. To me, it's a lot more complicated because first, the Mega. The Mega, I would say the Mega would be for sentimental reasons, the Mega would be my top car because it's the first car that I got. My first RC out of all these, that's the first one that I got. That's the one that showed me everything about how to work on these cars, how to build these cars. Without the Mega, I would not, all of this Louis Fix-It wouldn't even exist. So I would say the Mega would be my top 5, right? But it's more difficult than that. Because now I got, I had the Mega, now I got the 6S. The Mega is a perfect car. The way it runs, everything perfect on it. But now I got the 6S. And the 6S is the same thing as the Mega, but a lot more fun and a lot more powerful. And it does the same thing, handles the same way. So the 6S is an upgraded version of the Mega. So it's like, then it was the Kraton. The Kraton, when I had the Mega, I was trying to build the Mega up to be as good as the Kraton. It just, I needed to have just as much power as the Kraton. But it didn't. The Kraton is a beast. It was like, oh my God, I take off on this thing. The Kraton is a beast, man. Nothing was messing with the Kraton. until the Big Rock came. Then it's like, wow, I got something bigger than the Kraton with just as much power, even more power than the Kraton. I got the Big Rock. What could be more better than that? Then I went ahead and I got the Red Cat. The Red Cat is not as much power as the Big Rock, but is definitely is bigger than it. And it rides low. It don't look as good as the Big Rock with the whole scale look of the Big Rock. Ain't nothing mess with the Big Rock with that scale look. Nothing. Right? So I was like, all right, between the Red Cat and the Big Rock definitely weighing out more than the Red Cat. But the Red Cat is big, is fun, is powerful. I put the 6S Mamba in there. Powerful, no problem with that thing, man. But the Big Rock's still top of the notch. And then I done went ahead and got the Fire Team. So, as far as looks, scale-wise, the Big Rock still got it. I haven't had time to take the Fire Team out to really have fun with it. But the look, oh man. Since I have had the Fire Team been like, between the Big Rock and the Fire Team, they're my top notch. Them two, I'm not gonna lie, to my bashers, those two is my top notch. The Traxxas, those is fun, but they light and they powerful, so they flip a lot. They up in the air, they wheelie, they flip a lot. Those is definitely fun. But those is not my top. Those is not up on the top. I would say it's more of the Typhons than the Big Rocks. I mean, the Big Rock and the Fire Team. Everything else is in between that. It's in between that. I mean, not in between that. These four is my top four. I don't care. Those four is my top four. The Kraton is definitely fun. The Machete is definitely fun. The Typhon, the Traxxas, Slash, those ones is definitely fun. This gas car is what? If it wasn't so much work to keep that thing going and tweaking it up and all that, I would say this gas car will level up with the Typhons. Honestly, the way it runs, everything, the sound, you get that smell like you riding a dirt bike or something like that. Definitely the gas car is up with the Typhons. If it wasn't so much tweaking and pulling that damn string to get it started, man, whew, just wore me out just thinking about that. But my top of the bashes for right now, standing strong, is the Fire Team. The Fire Team. The Big Rock hold it down. The Big Rock definitely hold it down. The Big Rock is my best scale looking basher. But the Fire Team right now, the Fire Team is banging, man. It's banging, man. I'm sorry. The Fire Team is banging, man. It's definitely banging. Man, I took that thing out 3 times so far. And I didn't even take it to a big park. And it still was fun. Sorry, man. The Big Rock is definitely a good one. But I think the Fire Team is a little bit over the Big Rock. Why? Because it ain't too much damage that could take to it. The Big Rock, the scale look of the Big Rock, you don't really want to go crazy with it because you don't want to scuff it up and take that, that good scale look from it. You get a little dirt on it and wipe it off and clean it back up, but this is just my opinion. But the Fire Team is like, that thing can roll, do whatever it want to do. The more dirty it is, the better it's going to look. So I got to get this one to the Fire Team. I got to get a bashes to the Fire Team. For right now, the Fire Team, I said it in that last video, the Fire Team is working its way up to be one of my top 5 bash or drive. And I'm going one car out of all of them. Now, if I'm going more than one car out of each category, then yes, the Big Rock. You know, my top 5, I showed you my top 5. Big Rock, Fireteam, 2 Typhons, and the gas car. Honestly, nah, the Kraton. The Kraton. The Kraton will be up there in my top 5. Everything else is, but the Kraton would definitely be in my top 5. Definitely. If I was just to choose one of my Typhons, then it would be the Kraton and the gas car. I would have these 2, the Kraton, the gas car, and one of my Typhons. And that's my top 5. That's my top 5. Well, that's my top one. The Fireteam is my top one for the bashes. Now for my bikers. Now, I brought the bike as is. Did nothing to it. All I did is add my lights with a backlight on it. That's it. And then I have the Vertex. The Vertex, I took that from a regular basher and I made that into a 4-wheel quad. I don't know why I said 4-wheel quad, because quad means 4 wheels. It means 4, but the 4-wheeler is definitely fun. I didn't have a chance. I put a smaller pinion gear inside of it, changed the motor to a 4S, and haven't had the time to run it yet. I didn't run it after I changed the motor to the 4S. I took the 4S that was in the Machete. I took the 4S that was in the Machete and I put that inside of my Vertex. Woo! I don't know how it's gonna run, but I definitely want to see it. But as far as my top, come on, man, the bike. You can't beat the bike with a baseball bat, man. That is the funnest RC I have out of all of my RCs. All of them. I could take all these RCs out. I have a ball. I have a ball. I'm not going to front. I have a ball. But my top RC out of every RC that I have is the Low C Promoto MX bike. Top. But that's my top out of the bikers. My top 5 out of all of my cars, those are my top 5. But the Low C is my top RC out of all of my RCs. That is the funnest RC that I have because it's a bike, it's on 2 wheels, it wheelies. The thing flips. It flips back up on its own. Long as it catch traction on that back wheel, she's taking off. She's gone. The ramp with the bike, oh my God, it's a ball. So, I'm going to call it like that. Alright, man, so that's how I'm going to call it. This is my opinion on just the cars that I have. This ain't my opinion on all of the cars that's out, all the RC cars that's out there. This is my opinion on all my cars. I can't give opinion on every car that's out there because I don't have every car that's out there. I got quite a bit of them, you know what I'm saying? And I try to keep it social where I'm getting different cars. I don't want the same car, only 2 cars I got the same is the Typhon, the Slash, and the Relaros. Those are the only cars that I got that's actually identically the same, but they not the same. The Relaros is really not the same. None of them is 100% identically the same, but they look the same. And those are the only cars that I have like that. Everything else, I try to, switch up and get different cars to give y'all a different taste of, the RC world, So that's how I'm going to call it. That's my opinion on my cars that I have and how I'm calling it. I got the Felony. I got the Monte Carlos. I got the Louis Crawler, the Kit Crawler. I got the Fireteam. And I got the Low C. But the Low C is number 1. The Low C is definitely number 1. If I'm going to call it from top to bottom, I would say the Low C, the Felony, the fire team, no, the low C, the felony, the crawler, the fire team, the Monte Carlos. That's how I will call it. The line I will call it. You know? Because the low C is definitely way fun. Definitely way fun. So that's how I'm calling it. You know, tell me how y'all feel about that. Tell me how y'all feel, you know, as far as if y'all have similar cars that I have, you know, what would you, or either what would be your top 5 out of my collection, you know what I'm saying? How you would call it, you know? So hit me in the comments, let me know about that. So I'm gonna do it like how I always do it. Everybody that's out there that's part of the Louis Fix It gang, definitely appreciate y'all. I definitely appreciate y'all. And anybody that's just coming to this channel for the first time, get down, man. Get down with the Louis Fix It gang. And hit that subscribe. Turn on your notification so you can be the first one to see these videos, first one to like these videos, first one to share these videos, and the first one to comment, because I leaves nobody hanging. If you send me a comment, I'm definitely going to hit you back. So talk to me, I talk back. So until the next run,